Good morning, everybody. This is 𝗕𝗢𝗪 along with Dr. Brian Harman. Dr. Brian, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, baby. Thank you, Scott. Happy to be here.
We got a little East Coast, West Coast thing going on right now. Dr. Brian's out in California. I am all the way across the country in New Jersey. So sunny and warm where he is and snowy and cold where I am. But opposites do attract. And I'm just so excited about today. So if anyone is coming on live, as always, please do say hi and where you're coming in from. If you're on the replay, hashtag replay, like, love, some sort of emoji to let us know that this is resonating. And our number one goal today is to leave everyone who watches this live and on the replay better. That is the ultimate goal, and that is what we are here to do. So, Brian, before we dive into everything that we are talking about, a lot of my audience is not familiar with you and your work and how you got into what you're doing. So I'm just going to turn the floor over to you and give you the space and the ability now to introduce yourself to my network, you know, who Dr. Brian Harman is, what he's doing now. But the number one thing that I want you to dive into is, what was that impactful or pivotal moment in your business career that set you on this path to everything that you now doing today?
Yeah. I'm going to Tarantino this thing. So here's what I do now, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to tell you how did I get into this. So today I work as an executive coach. I do retreats. I do corporate training, mostly one-on-one coaching with leaders who want to make a better impact in the lives of the people that they serve. The employee-manager relationship is one that's often neglected, but that is really where everything in an organization gets done. It works with relationships, and most bosses, they have good intentions. Their heart's in the right place, but the things that they're doing are not yielding the right results. They're still having employees go home either unhappy or disengaged from their work. And so how did I get here? Why did I why do this? So my step before this was I started to study trust. And it was important to me that when I was going to bring these changes into the lives of executives and leaders who had a lot of influence, I wanted to do so from an evidence-based ground and foundation. So I did my PhD. I studied leadership and trust. And now, why did I even do that? So way back when, around 2012, I asked my now wife to marry me. And it became clear to me that going to school was one of the ways that I was going to try to elevate our lives. I was a 3-time college dropout. I had been in jail. I had problems with addiction. But her parents came from Peru. They had really a trying story of how they, for themselves, tried to better their lives. So for me, it was important that they saw that she was now marrying someone that wasn't going to make all that for waste. I wanted to show them that I was really serious about becoming a husband that would provide her with very, very strong mental and other support. All right, so we go and I go back to school, we get married, we come home from our honeymoon. I was diagnosed with an ultra-rare bone disease in my spine that would require 4 surgeries and 14 screws, 4 rods. As I was in that first surgery, I was in the hospital bed, and I decided I was not going to go back to that job that I was working at. I didn't like the people I worked for. I didn't like the people that I worked with all that much either. It just became really clear to me that this was not the type of company that I wanted to spend my waking days with. I felt like I was living on free time after this. There was a bone tumor that was growing around my spinal canal, and I thought, I can't just go back to this life that I had before that wasn't going to develop into anything really special. I felt I owed that to myself, and I owed it to my wife. So I went on a journey to then build that foundation so I could do the work that I'm doing today. And it all started with changing jobs, going back to school, learning how to become an executive coach, and helping leaders now today, this is now 6 years later, to really make a different impact in how they serve people.
I love that, because sometimes you have to, face those challenges and you have to face adversities to find your passion, find your purpose, and lean into that. And it's so funny. My wife and I talk about this all the time, that there are so many people that look at what other people are doing, what you're doing, what I'm doing, and they're like, oh, you know, they must have had this the entire time. They, you know, this must have been handed to them. You know, they've probably always been successful. And that couldn't be further from the truth. You know, everyone has to learn how to fail first in order to learn how to succeed. And I attribute my success currently to not what I now realize were failures way back when, but those were also successes, because those were the valuable lessons that taught me those things that are now applicable to everything that I'm doing, to everything that you're doing today. So my question to you is this. You see that, and my wife and I were talking about this literally this morning when we were working out, that you're seeing this uptick in the coaching bubble. So, you know, entrepreneurship has taken various turns in the last few years, and now you are seeing this uptick. And, you know, you've been coaching for a number of years. I've been coaching for a number of years, but it seems like everyone is, you know, if they can't do this, I'm going to become a coach and teach someone this. It's a two-part question. So the first part is, what really defines a good coach? And number two, what do you feel is hindering a lot of people out there that are coaching or do want to become a coach, but they're struggling within that field with what they're looking to achieve?
Yeah, great question. Great question, Scott. It's something that I faced a lot. When I started my coaching business, it took on many different forms. I started by this guy that saw me speak after I got off the stage. He said, "Hey, I'm looking for a coach. I like your personality." And at the time, I wasn't really ready to do any coaching. And I told him that. I said, "I'm not a coach yet. This is something I'm interested in the future, but I don't have the foundation to really provide you with any sort of system or framework or whatever." And he's like, "That's okay. I don't know that I need that. I like your approach to leadership. I want to work with you." So we did that. And then after 3 weeks, he said I needed to coach all my executives. So overnight, I had 12 clients. And then I evolved the business from there. Although I don't have the normal credentials to do coaching, I don't have any coaching certifications, I have spent significant resources to figure out how can I best serve my clients. And one of the keys there, I think to answer your question, the things that make a coach great is working with the right people. In the very beginning, I found myself working with clients that were sort of paying the bills. And that was a massive mistake that I made. There were some clients that I didn't know that it was going to be a perfect fit, but I took it anyways because I felt like, oh, I need the work. Big mistake. Working with the right people is everything, because no coach can solve every problem for everybody. I am only focused on this tiny little niche of employee manager trust. So if you want mindset, flow, and performance, and that's not me. If you're looking for a coach and you want to find out more about what their specialty is, that first initial discovery conversation has to go pretty deep into not only what you think are your problems, but what are actually the real problems. And a good coach, I think, the way that they can separate themselves is by being super clear on who they can best serve and why and how, and being able to articulate that and explain that to someone so that you never get into the situation where either the coach or the client is in a bad spot. This relationship, the coach-client relationship, is pure magic when it's the right fit. And I see that, and I get my clients and they call me and they're like, "I can't believe how much my life has changed because of you. Thank you so much." A lot of my clients get promoted. They find new jobs. They find more of their purpose aligning with their life. They reevaluate how they're spending their time. I love that. But that's only because they're the right client that I can actually help. I've never been a CEO of this massive global company, so I wouldn't be a good fit for people who are trying to increase their their CEO gravitas or executive presence, for example. I mean, most of the time I wear a backwards hat and a hoodie as I'm on these coaching calls with CEOs. So it comes down to fit. If you care about people, if you care about your impact on the world, you have to put yourself in the place where you can lean into that genius that you have. And I think everyone has that gift. So I like that people are becoming coaches. I like that they're going out and saying, I can help people in this way. That's great. Do it. But just make sure you get the right people on the other side that you can really help.
No, I love that. I want to read you something.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this on Instagram, and I want your take on it. So it's a picture, and the picture says, this is the picture right here. No one can see it, but okay. So the picture says, 500-hour client, quote, I just feel as though with this investment I'm about to make in you that we should understand how our lives are about to change, and I need results and you need to bring them. I'm entrusting you and our livelihood and lives, end quote. Underneath that, the $50,000 client, quote, money sent, thanks, end quote.
I don't know what to make of that.
So there's a great Facebook group. There's a great Facebook group called the Daily Carnage. It's a great Facebook group,
okay.
and it's for marketers and coaches. And so when my wife sent that to me, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense, because this kind of piggybacks off of what you said a few minutes ago, where you don't want to work with everybody. And I've been through that rigmarole, as you have in the very beginning when you're coaching, that you have that person say to you, listen, I'm investing in you and this has to work, because if this doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to do. And again, a coach is a guide. A coach is a support. A coach is a teacher. The student is responsible for applying and taking action on what the coach is teaching. We're not there to hold your hand through the entire process. We're to teach you something, and we're to say, here's what you need to go do. So what I took away from that quote was, when you have that 500-hour client, which a lot of people in the coaching world call the low-hanging fruit. And, that Ray is one of my clients, and she was the same way. She's like, yeah, money sent, that was her. Well, and that was the thing when Ray and I talked about, she wanted specific results, and, I told her, this is what I do. She goes, all right, what do I need to do? But when you have that 500-hour client, compared to the multiple 4- and 5-figure client, it makes a difference, because that person, the mindset shift of a 500-hour client compared to a $50,000 client, they know that they have to do the work. So from the perspective of the coach, and I want you to speak to those that have done coaching, they've worked with people, they may have not gotten the results they wanted to, they're thinking about coaching, but they haven't pulled the trigger yet. Speak to those people about what they really need to do, because again, the pressure that they put, not just on themselves, but on the person that they're hiring, it's not going to get them the results that they want. So speak to the person that's thinking about hiring a coach, or maybe did and had a bad result and said, well, it was that person's fault. I didn't get results because that person didn't say they. And granted, Brian, you and I both know there are coaches out there that don't deliver what they promise on. I think we've all been down that road. But speak to those potential clients, or the people that have coached and didn't quite get the result, and what they can do to better shift their mindset to having the experience they're really looking to when they are looking to and working with a coach.
Yeah, this is such an important piece, because when my clients get off the phone with me, that work isn't done. There's usually a lot of application. Nothing that any coach can do really matters if there's no action that's taken as a result of that work together. Uh, I've found that some of my clients with that mentality that, hey, everything has to happen on the call. Like I can't take home any homework or prompts or stuff or thoughts. Those clients don't do nearly as well, because that's just such the very beginning, is us having a conversation, exploring things, guiding things through. Now, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? There's the value actually isn't in the coach. The coach is a very small piece. It's how am I going to change my life? And I'm a true believer in coaching. I have 6 coaches today. I absolutely think that when I want to get somewhere faster in life, faster and better, and move in a more effective way, I get a coach who's already been there, done that. Whether that's meditation, leadership, LinkedIn, sales training, personal nutrition, physical fitness. I can't be an expert in 17 areas. So I just go and I get a coach for the different areas of my life, and then I do the work. And I'll tell you quite honestly, I got a physical nutrition or a nutrition coach back in November, and I totally screwed it up. I thought, well, I'm going to join this program. Everything's going to shape right up in my diet. But I didn't join the group calls every week. And so what happened? Well, my progress started to fade. And then I would miss the weekly check-ins. And what happened? I started to fade. There's only so much a coach can do. You have to be really, really clear about why this is a goal to begin with. And so then there's been these times during the last 4 months where I've been sort of getting back into it, and then I pull back out and get back into it and pull back out, because I was prioritizing my time differently. And that became something that was not a priority. So I can't blame the coach. There's no one to blame but me. And actually, like, my coach is amazing, and his clients have insanely awesome results. For me, it was sort of a bad timing, and I made the bad choice and not having that outside time commitment to come through on those goals that I promised for myself. So I'm still working through that, actually.
So let's talk about probably, and you can agree or disagree, but for what I have found, and I've been doing coaching for 23 years in different realms: health and wellness, business coaching, LinkedIn coaching, branding coaching. And the right people always do step forward, always. And, when the student is ready, the teacher is there, right? But the one big objection that we still hear is, and this is people's relationship with money, and they are fearful of the investment. And once the concept of working with a coach sounds great, and they know it's exactly what they need. They have this gap, they have this void in their life and their business. And this person I know they can fill that gap or void that's in my business, in my life, in my money, and all this stuff. But once that investment is laid out in front of them, fear then takes over. And they start having that story. What if it doesn't work? What if I invest this money and I don't get the results? What if? And then they get into this analysis paralysis, and then guess what happens? They don't pull the trigger. And I know you've probably heard this in your career as well. People say, well, listen, let me get back to you in a couple months, and I may be ready then. Now, for me, I've coached thousands of people. I can count on my one hand how many people have said, let's follow back up in a couple months and I'll be ready at that time, that actually did follow back up and moved forward with the coaching. Because you and I both know life doesn't wait. Life doesn't give you the perfect time. When something comes off of your plate, the universe always puts something back on there, and you have to then roll through that. So let's talk about money mindset when it comes to coaching. And when it comes to doing anything in your life. How important was it for you to work on your own money mindset when it came to you investing in coaches, but also knowing your own value of what you bring to the table, where when that investment was presented to a potential client, where your money mindset was healthy enough where that person saw the value and said, yes, let's do this?
Yeah, that's a great question. Scott, last year I spent $75,000 on coaching. That is a significant investment in myself. And I already had spent $350,000 on an education in academics. So why would I continue to do that? It's because I know the opportunity cost of not doing it. So when just so you know, I have this group career program where clients come in and it's not one-on-one coaching, but it's career coaching in groups. They have an online course. They have group calls every week. And I help people get jobs because I like seeing people reach their goals. It's one of my goals is to help people reach their goals. So in this program, when I have a person that's saying, I'm at that cusp of a 6-figure job and I want to land that job. This is like a manager level position and they've been out of work for 6 months. In order to make the same amount of money that year, they have to double their salary because 6 months without working, $0, you'd have to have a $200,000 salary to still make $100,000 that year. So every day is a twice as much loss by not working. So is going back and spending $2,000 today going to help me make twice as much money? I'm not going to double people's salaries. That's unrealistic. But the longer you wait to take action, the more you have to make up for the time you weren't working. It's just so simple. So when I want to get somewhere faster, I get a coach. If I want to dick around working out with no results, I could do that on my own for 5, 10, 15, 30 years. But I don't want to dick around. I want to get someone who knows what they're doing so that I have results in 6 weeks. And so I always just come back to that. If I don't act today, I need to do twice as much tomorrow. But if I get a coach, I can move usually more than twice as fast. So that's the approach I take.
I mean, I think what you said was so brilliant. And I want people to hear that again. The longer that you wait, the longer you're going to wait for the result. So any coaching, like you, my wife and I, we just invested in like a $45,000 year-long mastermind. And we did that last year and the year before because the teacher is always the student. If you think you know everything, you actually know nothing. But here's the other big thing is the longer that someone does wait, the longer you're going to wait for the result. It's just, your success is waiting for you. But the longer that you delay that decision, and people do say, and I had someone say this to me yesterday, Scott, well, it's not a no. It's just not a right now. And I'm going to try to figure it out on my own, and then I'm going to circle back around. And that's fine. But think about it. I was a personal trainer and sports nutritionist for almost 20 years. And when people would come into the gym and I would have a consultation with them, it's exactly what you said. I could say, listen, you can dick around in the gym all you want. Go online and Google meal plans and workout routines and try to, take yourself through it. And that's fine. Or you could work with me where I can actually sit down and customize a program that's geared towards you and your goals. And you're going to make the monetary obligation to invest in your health and wellness in me, where you have a standing appointment on these days of this week at this time to get into the gym to know that I'm going to hold you accountable for your goals. So Brian, who do you think is more likely to achieve their goals? That person that's just going to go on Google and YouTube and try to figure it out on their own to help themselves get accountable, or the person that's going to invest in someone else and say, you know what? I need the accountability. I need to work with someone, and I'm going to invest in you. And the answer 100% of the time. Why do you think coaches have coaches? Like, why do you because we believe in coaching because we know what it's done for us. And I really feel for people that are struggling right now. I have such sympathy and such empathy for those individuals that are feeling stuck in their business, because it is a huge mindset shift. And you know what? that first coach that you hired, that first coach that I hired, and I hired my first coach almost 8 years ago. So I've been investing in coaching for almost 10 years now. And if you want to go back, just to give you an example, when I used to compete in bodybuilding, I didn't work myself out. I was a trainer, but I had a personal trainer that I hired to work me out for the workouts. I hired a nutritionist to help me with my meal prepping, and I had a posing coach. I hired 3 separate people for one thing because, again, I don't want a jack of all trades that knows a little bit about 3 things. I want someone that knows exactly about how to do that one thing and then hire the other person that specializes in that. And that's the thing. You can try to go out there and find someone that is the jack of all trades, but it's more beneficial. You're going to get from point A to point B. It's not taking a shortcut. It's shortening the learning curve. That's the big difference. So now that we had this really interesting 2020 and we've moved into 2021, for people that are still kind of on the fence about going all in with their goals, going all in with investing in themselves, what is your message to those individuals that really do want to see a change in their life, in their relationships, in their business, and in their money?
I would encourage everyone to just look at where are the areas of their life that they need the most help and find a coach. The other thing I think this, even coaches that have been doing this a while, that have been at it for years, they don't always have these sharpened sales skills. I'm a leadership coach. I'm not a sales guy. And I've worked on my sales experience, but all you have to do is get on the phone with some of these coaches, feel it out, feel the vibe. I cannot stress enough, the likability and rapport in the coach-client relationship is so underrated. You have to have that good energy with each other. Otherwise, it's not going to work nearly as well. You're going to come on those phones. You're going to be dreading those calls. You're going to be missing goals. So find those areas of your life that you want to make improvements. Go out there, talk to 3 or 4 or 5 coaches. There's a plethora of brilliant coaches out there. Have the conversations, though. Do that diligence on the front end. See who you have good energy with and go from there. That's what I would say. There's nothing I could have in my wildest dreams could have thought that my business could have achieved this year. I had underestimated myself by a factor of 4. And that has a lot to do with the fact that I had these coaches that were helping me along in these areas that I knew I wasn't good. So if you want to exceed your potential, get a coach, get that good energy going with someone that you really trust and like, and then go from there.
A couple questions before we wind down. Number 1, what do you think has been the most impactful lesson that you've learned since really understanding the principles of investing in yourself and in what you want to achieve with your goals?
The biggest lesson learned?
Yeah.
Is that, yeah? Okay. Biggest lesson learned is the timing does matter. Like I was telling you about that story before with my personal nutrition coach, there was like the pain wasn't high enough for me. So in my day-to-day life, that's the one I put off because the pain wasn't high enough for me. I probably should have held off on that until I knew that I had the time commitment outside of the program to also dedicate to the program. When I got my first LinkedIn coach, I was spending 14 hours a day on LinkedIn after that. So I was getting the full impact of that coaching. But on the other side with the personal nutrition coach, because I didn't spend the time, the meal prep, really watching the modules, joining the group calls, because I didn't make time for that, it failed. So you have to always make room in your life, create some space for that good stuff to come in. And if you don't, it will not work.
Love that. Other thing I wanted to ask you is you and I are huge believers in LinkedIn and the ability that this platform gives us to connect, to create, to collaborate, and to actually grow wealth. For those that are still skeptic about the platform and they are still unclear if this is the right fit for them. What would your message be to those individuals that are still stuck on the rigmarole and roller coaster ride of Facebook and Instagram and not yet on LinkedIn?
I could never have predicted. I'll just be fully transparent. Last month from LinkedIn, my business made $80,000. I only got on LinkedIn last March. So this is within 9 months. Content marketing works. People want to see your face. The video is important. You have all these new pieces of observations to see about me. We don't know where someone's going to get their first impression about you. So you have to show up. No one wants to invest in a company that's just this blind logo out there that who knows what the hell is going on with them. I want a face. I want to know there's a person on the other side. I want to know the voice, the story, the soul, the spirit, the history of this person. So I've been very transparent on LinkedIn, and I just tell everybody, this is my life. If you want to work with me, cool. If you don't, cool. I want to polarize my audience. The people who will never work with me, if they're not cool with a hoodie and a backwards hat executive coach, we wouldn't work well together. But hey, if that's cool with you, if you like that style, if you like the approach, if you want to be working with someone like that, here I am. I'd love to serve. So I think LinkedIn is this tool that it's evolved so well in that it's not the resume. It's a content marketing. It is a place for people to show their voice, to share their value with the world. And when you go in with that mentality of adding value to the platform, making great conversations, making friends like you and I've just finished my 160th interview in under 12 months. And these people become my friends. I interviewed you a few weeks ago. This is the power of this thing, but you have to, again, make space in your life to bring that in. If you use, like we're a mirror of our thought. If you put out friendship and trust and vulnerability and openness on the platform, you're going to get that back. But if you put, hey, here's what I do, that's all you're going to get back. You're going to get people say, oh, that's interesting. Let's connect. Okay, bye.
Yeah, it's creating, I say this to people all the time, the most powerful tool that we all have is actually not the social media platforms. It's actually the way that we use the platforms to create meaningful, genuine, and authentic connection. The relationship that you build with someone, that's where the money ends up showing up, because the more quality relationships you have, the more things on the back end start showing up. And that's what it's all about. It's leading with value. It's leaving people better. It's not chasing the mighty dollar. It's chasing the mighty connection, because the more connections you have, the more impact and income you can create. And if you're in a business that is to serve others, LinkedIn is the #1 platform for that. So before we end today's interview, number one, I am just so grateful for you for taking the time out to be here today with me and my audience. Just love everything that you're doing. But number two, final question. What does success truly mean to you?
That's the ultimate question. That is the ultimate question. In my life, the source of my success is the love I get from my wife. That drives everything that I do. She's my first childhood love. I'm driven and inspired and motivated every day by that energy that she gives me. I think that success is really not something that we go for as a destination, but it's something we feel in every moment. It's a synonym for happiness, and we want to get each other. Every interaction that we have the opportunity to make someone's life better in every single interaction. You can build trust, keep it neutral, or degrade it. Right now, anywhere. You could bump into someone at a store, a parking lot attendant. You have the power to practice generosity and kindness in every single interaction. To me, that's what success is.
Could not agree more. It's about giving as much as you can. You have to give in order to get. You can't just take. You have to give first in order to receive something back. So, Brian, what is the best way for people to find out what you do? Obviously, they can connect with you on social media, but where can people learn more about you and what you do and how you can help them?
Yeah, LinkedIn. LinkedIn's the best place. I'm on there every day. I reply to my own messages. I read every comment. I love to hear from people. I love to meet people. If you just want to get on the phone and chat, just shoot me a DM. I'm always there.
Awesome. Awesome. So again, comments are coming in. People loved this, and I know there's going to be a lot of people on the replay. So Brian, again, so grateful for you. Glad that we were finally able to make this happen. It was a year in the making. I just want to say, continue to do what you're doing. You're impacting my life, and I know that you've impacted so many lives today. So everyone who did tune in, if you do happen to be on the replay, again, #replay. Again, leave your comments, your thoughts, what your big aha moments were or takeaways were. We would love to hear from you. So everyone, please enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.